Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how you can make a YouTube channel design for the new layout that's just come out for 2013. This is the 17th of March. I've just activated it on my channel, but I think most channels are going to be moving over to it soon. So this is what it looks like. Obviously this is the stretched out desktop version, but then when you come in you actually see less of this graphic here and it like shrinks in, but that's the minimum size which you see on small screens or on mobile devices, and this is more like what you see on a desktop if you've got the screen maximized like that. If you're on a TV as well, you see a much larger image, and a tablet is somewhere in between the desktop and mobile. So anyway, I'm going to be showing you how you can do that on Photoshop and how you can crop it exactly how it needs to be. So what you're going to need Photoshop, you're going to need a high quality image, like high resolution, so I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to use this one which I found on the internet. If you just search Google for like a nature image or whatever you want to use, click on images, and if you go to search tools here, you can select the size, select larger than 2 megapixels. I'd say 2 megapixels is probably the minimum you want. You could use something like this, and then if you say that you want to use this one, just drag it onto your desktop like that, and it's available there, as you can see. But I'm not going to be using that one, I'm going to use this one instead. Now for all the sizing measurements and everything, there's a little YouTube guide which I'll link in the description, which you can have a read through, but I'm making a video on it anyway, so you don't really need to. So if we open up Photoshop, there we go. So make this a bit smaller. Now File, New. You want to set your width to 2120 and your height to 1193. Make sure your resolution's on 72 pixels per inch, and that's about it. Square pixels down there, just click OK. Now the first thing you're going to want to do obviously is drag in your little picture that you've made or that you've got off Google. Just stretch that out. You can always change the size of it later. So there we go, I've got that filling the screen. If you wanted, you can press Ctrl T and make it bigger or whatever you want, but I'm not going to. So I'll just reject those changes. Now, as you can see, this is a huge image, and with the mobile site you only see a small portion of that. So how do you make sure that the bit that you see on a mobile device or on a small screen shows up correctly and it's got all the information in there that you want? So here I've got my website name, and as you can see that fits in, whether I'm on the smallest one or even on the biggest one, you can still see it fine. It doesn't matter what size the screen is. And I did that by looking on the guide, and you can see here the minimum size is 1280 by 350. So the way I got everything scaled up is I created a little box and create the width as 1280 and the height as 350, and then if we click in there, just click OK on that, and it creates a little rectangle. But how do I make sure that's exactly in the middle? I'll show you a little trick if you don't know. Click on the little marquee tool there, make sure it's the rectangular one, then press Ctrl A, that'll select the whole canvas, and then if you click on this little move tool here, they've got these little buttons at the top, so you want to center it vertically and center it horizontally. So it's that one and that one, and as you can see it's perfectly centered right in the middle. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to want to do is, well, I just like to rasterize the layer like that. Just right click, rasterize layer, and then what you're going to want to do is hold Control and click on the little thumbnail next to that rectangle one that's been created, and that'll select it with the marquee tool. Now you actually don't need that to be coloured in black, so you can just click the delete key and then go to select and then inverse. So instead of selecting what's inside the square, it's now selecting everything that's outside it. Then you can come to the paint bucket tool. If it's not there, just right click and choose it. Make sure that you've got a visible colour. Doesn't matter what it is, it could be red. I'm just going to set it to black, and then just paste that in there. You can then press Ctrl D and it'll deselect it, so you haven't got those running ants all the way around. And there you go, that's the little window that you see on a mobile device. As you can see, that image doesn't look all that great at the moment, so I'm just going to do a few quick adjustments to it. I'll just you can click this little eye to get rid of that new rectangle that you've made, that little viewing window, and just deselect that, and then I'm going to choose my image on the layers panel. In fact, let's make this full screen. Once you've got this full screen, just right click on the image that you dragged in and click rasterize layer on that. Then you can come up here to image, come to adjustments, sort out the levels. It gives you quite a bit of control in terms of contrast and brightness. Just mess with these until you get it looking exactly how you want it. Click the OK button. The picture now looks a bit more vivid and realistic, to be honest, and it'll look a bit nicer on YouTube. So now we want to see what the smallest possible window looks like. So you just click the little eye there and it'll select that little window. It's like you're looking through a post box or something, but that's what you'll see on the YouTube site. So then you can design this however you want. You can put in some text, my channel name, put your channel name in. You can set it right to the bottom here, to the top here. What you want to avoid is putting it here, because you will actually have your logo, which covers a little square here. Something about that size, which goes about there like that. So you want to make sure you avoid that area if you're putting any details in. You could put it in the bottom left though, that'd be fine. So here, if I want to put that channel name there, you can then do all your adjustments as you normally would, such as putting a stroke on it. Let's put a white stroke on there, 2 pixels, and then you can always put a gradient on as well. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, it looks quite nice now. Looks a lot better than it did anyway. And then you can see how everything's going to be lined up. Now if you want to see what it's going to be like on a desktop with the screen maximized, like instead of like this, which is what it's like now, if you pull this outwards, that's like the maximum size you can see on a desktop if you've got a large screen. So now you want to be able to see what those people can see. So if you come over to the rectangle tool again, you just need to get the dimensions for that, which are 2120 by 350, 2120 and 350. Just click anywhere, click OK, and then do the same trick as before. I'm just going to rasterize that quickly. Rasterize layer, then marquee, Control A, then back to the move tool and center it both horizontally and vertically. So then it's perfectly aligned. Then you do Control D to deselect, and we do the same thing as before. Control and click on the little thumbnail, delete, then come up to select inverse. You can also do Control Shift I, and then come into your paint bucket tool and paste that in. And then again you can put whatever you want on here. So if you can like put some text, some hidden text in the corner, like there you go. And then you can see that if people are on a desktop and they've got it fully maximized, they're going to see this text. But if they've got it on a mobile device or on a small screen, they're not going to see that. In fact, if we drag that under there, it should look better. So then you can see it's not visible if you're on a small screen, but if you are on a big screen, then it is visible. But then you still want to be aware that the logo will be showing up approximately here. It's in a little square around here like this. As you can see there, little logo there that's covering up that section of the screen, so you want to make sure you don't put anything up here. So again, we'll just delete that. And that's basically it. You can then line up this background however you want. Make it a bit bigger, so if you want the my channel name to rest on those reads there, you can do that. Just like that. Apply the transformation, and then you can just check it again with the desktop users, and the mobile users. Now say you want to upload this, you're just going to come up to File, then Save for Web. Once you're totally happy with it, just put it on JPEG, that's fine for YouTube. Quality 100%. As you can see, it's going to be just over a megabyte in size. Save that onto your desktop. Then that file is then ready to upload. Here's the original image that we had before, and here's the one that's made for YouTube. I'll just upload this template so you don't actually have to recreate this if you don't want to. If you want to be lazy, you can just drop your own image in just above the background, so not like here, just make sure it's just above the background. So I'll just upload that for you. I'll put the link in the description to that file, to this Photoshop file, so you can do it yourself. If you've got any ideas for any videos I can do in the future, then please send me a message or comment on this video. Anything to do with Photoshop. Just want to give a shout out to Zitrox officially. I use all his music on my speed art videos, such as this one. So that's about it. Please give this video a like if you liked what you saw, or if it helped you out in any way. Throw me a comment, I'd like to see what designs you come up with, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.